Imagine walking into your day like a calm storm. Things happen, emails you didn't expect, people who don't act right, plans that fall apart. But you remain steady. Why? Because you've already told yourself, I am not here to control the world, only myself. This is one of the most important Stoic principles. Epictetus said it plainly. Some things are up to us and some are not. The more you live by that line, the freer you become. You let go of trying to control people's reactions, outcomes, or the chaos around you. And you return to the only place where real power lives. Your own mind, your own actions. Let's say you're in a meeting and someone cuts you off mid-sentence. Your instinct might be to snap, defend, prove a point. But pause. You don't control their behavior, but you do control your tone, your breath, your posture, and that small decision in that small moment makes you powerful. You don't need to dominate every situation. You just need to lead yourself through it. So say it again, and say it often. I am not here to control the world, only myself. Let that guide how you respond, how you speak, how you show up. And over time, you'll start to notice the world doesn't feel as heavy when you're no longer trying to carry all of it. Another thing is that every challenge you face in this life carries a lesson, and you should be willing to learn. Life doesn't hand out clean instructions. It teaches through tension, through the late nights, the failed attempts, the things that don't go as planned. And while most people complain, a Stoic steps back and asks, what's this trying to teach me? Marcus Aurelius said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In other words, the thing you're trying to avoid, that might be the very thing shaping you. Think about it. That moment you didn't get the job, that friendship that broke down, that long stretch of uncertainty where nothing seemed to move forward. All of it taught you something if you were paying attention. Maybe it taught you patience. Maybe it taught you who you can count on. Or maybe it taught you that you're stronger than you thought. Even the little stuff, traffic jams, delays, rejections, these aren't just annoyances. They're tiny mental workouts. And if you meet them with the right mindset, they sharpen you. So next time something goes wrong, don't ask, why me? Ask, what's the lesson here? Repeat this daily. Every challenge carries a lesson, if I'm willing to learn. Say it when life is smooth. Say it louder when it's not. Because growth doesn't always look like progress. Sometimes it looks like standing still and choosing not to run. Life is tough. When those tough moments come, you should tell yourself that you have survived worse, and that you can survive this too. Let's be honest, life doesn't wait for you to be ready. It just shows up. One day, everything's calm, and the next, you're dealing with pressure, loss, or some mess you didn't see coming. But here's something most people forget in the moment. You've been through worse, and you're still here. You've had days where you doubted everything. Nights where you felt like giving up. Moments where the weight felt unbearable. And yet, you didn't break. You adapted. Maybe not perfectly, but you made it through. That's what this line reminds you of. I've survived worse, and I'll survive this too. It's not about pretending to be fearless. It's about remembering your strength when fear shows up. The Stoics believe that if a challenge is in front of you, it's because you're capable of handling it. Not because it's easy, but because you're built to grow through it. Think of a storm. The tree that survives isn't the one that resists the wind. It's the one that bends without breaking. That's you. You don't need to have all the answers today. You just need to take the next small step. So when life presses in, breathe deeply and say it to yourself. I've survived worse. I'll survive this too. And here's another thing. Peace is a decision, not a reward. Most people wait for peace like it's something life hands you when everything finally calms down, when the bills are paid, when everyone treats you right, when nothing goes wrong. But the Stoics saw it differently. They understood that peace isn't something you find. It's something you choose, moment by moment. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And it's true. A rude comment, a delay, An unexpected setback, those aren't what ruin your day. It's the story you tell yourself about them. It's your interpretation, not the event itself. Let's say someone ignores your message. Your mind jumps to conclusions. Are they upset? Am I not important? But what if none of that's true? What if it's just life happening, and you're the one choosing whether or not to give away your peace? That's where this phrase comes in. Peace is a decision, not a reward. You don't have to earn it by fixing everything. You can step into it right now by not reacting to every little thing that tries to pull you off center. So next time something irritates you, take a breath. Remind yourself, you don't owe everything a reaction. Most things don't even deserve one. You can let it go. You can walk away, because your peace isn't up for grabs. It's under your control. Something else worth remembering, what they think isn't who I am. The world is noisy. Everyone has something to say about how you look, how you live, what you post, what you believe. And if you're not careful, you start to absorb those voices as if they mean something about you. But here's the truth the Stoics held close. Other people's opinions are reflections, not definitions. Epictetus put it like this: if you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your judgment of them. That means the insult isn't the problem. It's what you believe about it. The silence isn't rejection until you decide it is. Let's say someone downplays your effort or ignores your progress. It stings, sure. But that sting only lingers if you let their opinion override your own truth. That's why you have to ground yourself in this line. What they think isn't who I am. Say it when they misunderstand you. Say it when they judge you. Say it when they applaud you, even. Because praise can be just as dangerous as criticism if you start chasing it. You already know who you are. You know what you've overcome. You know the effort, the intent, the growth behind closed doors. Don't let someone's passing comment carry more weight than your lived reality. You're not here to fit into anyone's small version of you. You're here to become the truest version of yourself. And here's another truth. This moment is the only thing that's truly yours. We spend so much of our lives either dragging the past behind us or chasing after a future we can't control. Regret and anxiety, those are the twin thieves of peace. But the Stoics knew a better way. Marcus Aurelius said, "Confine yourself to the present." Why? Because the past is already done. The future isn't promised. All you really own, truly, is right now. Think about how often your body is in one place, but your mind is somewhere else. You're with someone you love, but scrolling through your phone. You're eating dinner, but replaying an old mistake. You're trying to work, but stressing about next week. That's not presence. That's mental exile. So here's the phrase to bring you back. This moment is the only thing that's truly mine. Say it when your thoughts start spinning. Say it when you're tempted to zone out. Use it like a mental anchor, because when you fully show up right here, right now, you reclaim your power. You listen better. You feel deeper. You move with clarity instead of chaos. Life doesn't happen later. It's happening now. And the more you live in that space, the more life starts to feel vivid, connected, real. So slow down, breathe in, feel the moment you're in. It's yours. Don't miss it. We live in a world obsessed with outcomes, likes, followers, money, status. They become the scoreboard for success. But here's something the Stoics understood deeply. Your value isn't measured by what you collect, but by what you contribute. Seneca once wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." In other words, chasing validation will always leave you empty, but showing up with honesty, effort, and intention, that's where real worth is built. Maybe your work doesn't get recognized. Maybe your kindness isn't always returned. Maybe the results don't match the energy you've poured in. That doesn't make your actions meaningless. It makes them pure. Repeat this to yourself when the world feels silent. My worth is in what I give, not what I get. Give your focus to the task, not the applause. Give your kindness without needing it back. Give your best, not because you're being watched, but because it's who you are. You're not here to be ranked. You're here to live with purpose. And the more you focus on giving your time, your attention, your effort, the more unshakable your sense of self becomes. Because you're no longer chasing validation. You're living with quiet power. Another thing is that resisting reality only makes it harder. So much of our suffering doesn't come from the event itself. It comes from the fight we put up against it. We wish it didn't happen. We tell ourselves it's not fair. We try to mentally rewrite what already is. But the Stoics were clear. Don't argue with reality. Learn to work with it. Epictetus said, "Do not seek for events to happen as you wish, but wish for events to happen as they do, and your life will flow well." That's not surrender in the weak sense, it's wisdom. It's recognizing that acceptance doesn't mean approval. It just means you're no longer wasting energy on denial. You missed the opportunity. Someone let you down. The plan didn't go your way. Fine. Now what? The phrase to carry in these moments is this: resisting reality only makes it harder. You can either stand in the rain and complain that you're wet, or you can grab a coat, keep walking, and stay focused. That's the difference between suffering and strength. Acceptance is not passive, it's powerful. It frees your mind to focus on action, on adaptation, on the next move instead of the last one. So when things fall apart, don't fall apart with them. Breathe, adjust, move forward, not by force, but by flow. And here's something most people forget. Growth happens quietly, so I'll keep going. In a world that glorifies overnight success, it's easy to think that if progress isn't loud, it's not real. But the Stoics knew better. They understood that real transformation is slow, subtle, and often invisible, until one day it isn't. Think of nature. You don't hear a tree growing, you don't see the roots digging deeper every day, but give it time, and it becomes unshakable. That's why you need this reminder. Growth happens quietly, so I'll keep going. You might not feel different today, you might not see results tomorrow, but every time you choose discipline over distraction, every time you stay kind when it's easier to snap, every time you show up, even when no one's watching, you're becoming someone stronger. Marcus Aurelius didn't write his meditations for an audience. He wrote them to himself. A quiet, daily practice of self-growth. Never viral, never loud, just consistent. So keep doing the work, keep showing up. Not because the world claps for it, but because you're becoming the kind of person who doesn't need the clapping. Progress isn't always exciting, but it's always happening if you don't quit.